Does your spider senses tell you that the Warriors are going to be really bad?
I did not have them making the playoffs.
Okay. I want to be clear because I know when I stood up, I got a lot of heat saying they ain't good, man. They're just not good. They don't defend. And when you talk about James Harden going to get his, I know he's going to get his. D'Angelo Russell, people are going to get theirs against D'Angelo Russell because he's worse than Steph on the defensive end. How are the Warriors going to be good? I can't see it, but Ceruti spent 15 minutes justifying how the Warriors are going to be good.
Caron, can I just my main point was that I'm just not going to freak out. I'm just not going to freak out. No. I want to explain this to you, Caron. They very well may miss the playoffs. I'm not going to freak out over one game. It's one game against potentially the best team in the league, a team that has that I didn't have really any major questions about coming in. So I still think that just because they lost to the Clippers, it's not all doom and gloom. They could still have a successful season. There are problems, though.
Draymond threw in the white towel already.
I didn't hear no bell.
I'm out. I'm done.
2021. Here we go, baby.
Listen, the defense, they were horrible defensively. They were. But, and I understand, like, they don't have a ton of scorers beyond the two guys in Russell and Steph. And, Klay was on last night. We'll play that sound a little bit later with him and with basically Barkley told them, like, hey, you guys are no good and you're not going to make the playoffs and your window is shut. So we'll get to that question a little bit later. But, Caron, I don't think their window is shut. It's definitely shut this year. But tell me, is there anything, like they asked Draymond after the game, like, is there any silver lining? Is there any positive you could take from this? I'm not even going to ask you that. Like, is there anything positive they could take, from that game whatsoever going forward in this
Play
season?
him the sound. Play the sound. Let's play the Draymond sound. And Caron, right. Like Ceruti took this as like a rallying cry. You listen to it. I'm not going to tell you how I took it. You listen to it and you tell me what Draymond is saying. Go ahead. Play the sound.
On a positive note, what did you like about the team? What do you think you can build off from today's game?
I think we had some good moments offensively, a few. But I'm not a moral victory type of guy. I'm not leaving this game looking for something to build off on. We sucked. And we got to get better. I'm not a coach, so I'm not about to go watch a film and say, oh, well, we can build on this. I really don't give a damn about what we can build on. We suck tonight, and we got to get better overall. And that's just what it is.
I'm putting my faith in that guy, man. I'm putting my faith in that guy. Go ahead, Caron.
I believe in him, but.
Bro, listen. It's like this, right? The Warriors been dominating every damn body for like pretty much half of the last decade, right?
Yeah.
They've been putting on a demonstration, blowing people this out the arenas. Steph been hitting shots, turning around. Shaking. Yeah, shooting the shot. Look, boom. Everything. So now.
Looking at the bench, shooting it, looking at the bench as it goes in. Video game type of stuff.
People don't forget,
like, huh? They're wounded. They're down. They're rebuilding. They're trying to figure it out. Steve Kerr always have the best sound bites after 64 and 5. We're just trying to still get better. Now we're about to see what it looked like. Like it's a huge bullseye on their back, and everybody can do that when you're playing with house money. But now when, you got to dig a little deeper, people are like really watching them and people trying to come in there and really take their heart. And they're going to guard Steph different. They're going to approach the Warriors different. Like, even though Toronto won the championship last year, they're looking at the Warriors like, look, those are the champs. Those been the champs, and we're trying to put on a demonstration every time we come into the Chase Center or every time they come into our center, we're trying to rock them.
Ceruti, it'd be like you back in the day. You show up with your big old friends and you start bullying people, and everyone's like, oh, man, I'm afraid of Ceruti. And all of a sudden your friends ain't there anymore. You're going to get your ass kicked, Ceruti. That's just how it's going to go. Like, you show up on the park without your friends, all that shit you were talking in the past, you're going to have to pay the price for that. Now, a lot of people might tap out. You might not show back up. But for the Warriors, they have to be there. Now, the effort they give, I don't know. But I agree with Caron. Like, the fans are still going to show up to see the great Golden State Warriors, and they're going to root on their team to beat them. But the Warriors are not going to be able to dig deep like you would think they can dig deep. It's hard to dig deep when you've been at the top of the mountain and you just don't have the weapons anymore.
Karan, if they're being honest with themselves, if those Warriors guys, if Steve Kerr, if Draymond, Steph, like if they're being honest with themselves, do they know how big of a problem this could be this year?
Yeah, they knew they had a problem last year. They knew what with the health and the uncertainty of Kevin Durant, which everyone knew, even in-house, that he was leaving. They knew that they had a problem going forward. They knew that, the core guys it was paramount for those guys to stick together. And then when Klay got injured, I feel like he was the guy. He was the guy that every time they had an elimination game or somebody that needed to have an astronomical night, you talking about 7 threes at OKC or coming back down from 3-1, all those. Klay was the guy that oh, y'all want smoke? I got all the smoke. Let's go. And he was the guy that always delivered in those moments. You know what I mean? Like, if Kevin Durant wasn't the finals MVP, it could have easily been Klay in some of those moments, like in those series, because he was the guy. So all of a sudden you don't have Klay. It's like, we have issues, and we don't have the depth. We don't have the leadership. The conversations are the same in the locker room. Scal, you get on the bus, it's like, all right, I know, man. I know your wife. I know your family. Like, it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And that affects camaraderie. That affects momentum. So now you need freshness, and you have to develop the young guys, and that takes time.
Those young guys, they might not have it. Draymond brought up an interesting point. He says everyone thinks that chemistry and camaraderie is offense, but it's defense too. He said, I have a guy, and it might look like he's beat, but Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, they knew I had that guy, so they wouldn't help. We got new guys that rotate over, and it messes me up because you're not supposed to rotate. I got this. And so it's all about knowing what a guy can do, knowing a guy's strength. Like, they're looking left to right, and they're not seeing any of these guys thinking, all right, these guys are the guys I went to war with. They're not seeing that. It's Steph Curry and Draymond looking at each other, and they're like, I know, man. Can you believe we're out here on the floor with these guys? It's a rude awakening.
Well, let's do this. Let's listen, because Klay Thompson was on the TNT set last night talking to Charles Barkley, and Charles laid some hard truths on him, I think, and because Klay's very optimistic, still thinks they're going to make the playoffs, and Chuck threw some cold water on that. So let's listen to Barkley here from last night.
The hardest part is you can't skip any steps, so I don't want to rush back to try and go to a 6th straight finals if I'm not 100%, because our window to win another championship, I think, is open for the next 5-6 years.
Go ahead, Charles.
Well, number one, I hope you get back soon, but you're just wrong.
What is he wrong about?
Well, I think they won the shot.
Why?
Well, because I don't think they can score enough. I want to make my other prediction, and I was wrong before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I said they were going to be the 7-8 seed. They're not going to make the playoffs because they just can't score enough. You
can tell after one half of basketball.
Playing with the best defensive team, the Clippers.
No, but not just that, Candace. When you look at your team, you say, okay, Steph can get me 30. D'Angelo can get me 20. But Draymond, even though he's a heck of a player, he only going to get me 15. That's not enough in the Western Conference this year.
So harsh words from Barkley there. He
True.
Yes, maybe some people believe it's true. He also said the dynasty is over. I don't believe that. You say what you want about this year. I'm not going to be surprised if they don't make the playoffs, but I do believe you get Klay back. I know Steph's older and Draymond's older, but you maybe retool that roster. You trade D'Angelo Russell for a piece or something, or a wing or a big or whatever. I don't think they're done winning titles. I think they can still win a title in the next 4 or 5 years. What do you think, Caron?
I mean, look, they made beautiful music together. You can't tell the story of basketball without mentioning the Golden State Warriors. But I think bringing the band back together, I think the music not going to be the same. I've seen New Edition come together time and time again, the remakes and the albums, and I liked it, and I watched it, and I listened to the music because I was a fan of some of the guys, but it wasn't the same. It just took me back to that moment in my life, and I think that Charles nailed it, man. They're missing a lot, and I think so many other teams that got better, especially the team that you knocked out the box and took their window away from them when they had Lob City and those guys. in the Clippers, and now Kawhi, and no Paul George even played last night. Let's just make sure we put that out there also. So people are not even seeing the real Clippers yet. And I just think that they're clearly going to be number 1 and number 2, and I think Denver's going to be somewhere in that space in the Western Conference. The Lakers got better. Other teams got better. And like I said, everybody's going to give you their best shot going forward, so I do not see the Warriors making the playoffs.
Well, yeah, for sure not this year. And if you want to talk about the window, the only thing is there might not be any organizations out there looking to do the Warriors any favors. So they might think, hey, man, we might want D'Angelo Russell, but we're not going to give the Warriors exactly what they need, which is 2 versatile wings to guard all these guys. So, like, they might just say, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to be the butt of the joke of, like this guy traded basically Jerry West trading for Pau Gasol and for him to go to the Lakers and, like, doing guys a favor. No one's going to do the Warriors any favors for all the things that Caron mentioned, turning at the bench, sashimi shaking, all the stuff that they did, like just kind of disrespecting the league during their run, which they were unbelievable. They had the right to do that kind of stuff. But their window, unless they can get something super valuable for D'Angelo Russell, their window is closed.